Just a moment while I get set up. Hello.
Hi,
Hi. My mother will
look
be joining us.
here.
Oh, hello. Hello, Mia. That's
Oh,
Maria has a cat named Mia.
really?
Mm-hmm.
I do. She's right here.
Hi, I would love a cat named anything. Hi, you waving?
All right,
I was
let me
making
see about
waves.
getting oh wow. So we're both in different spaces this time.
Oh,
uh, we're doing a number of things against the wall today. So just prepare yourself to have some sort
Okay.
of wall space. Yes, the door will potentially work. I also know that you could go to, no, that's not true. I was thinking of the space in front of the monitor that is downstairs. Take a I'm going to set up the camera and everything. I will be right back.
sounds good.
You're going to set up. Yeah. Is that gonna work?
Who else is joining us?
What's that?
Who else is joining us tonight?
I think it's just the three of us. Dana had mentioned that she thought she wasn't going to be available tonight, and Jen is with her friends.
Who's the third person with you?
My mother. That was my mother.
Oh.
She's going to join us. She had been a regular prior to her injury. So we're yeah.
Got it. Hi, Andrew's mother.
Hi. She has, Mom, you introduce yourself with the name.
My name is Ruth, but you can call me Mom. That's what everybody else seems to call me.
Okay, sounds good.
And how much of this I'll be able to do? I don't know. So we'll find out.
Yeah. All right. So excuse the subtitleness for things. It's interesting. Well, while I set this up, wait a minute. While I set this up, and I guess you can hear me okay, but I'm still gonna err on the side of being
Should I get down?
audible. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then what'll happen is when we move to the wall, we can either rotate that, or we can supplement the mat that is there with a pillow behind you. Yeah, that's what I think too. So in fact, I can even get a pillow ahead of time. Let me get, you got outlets everywhere. That's very convenient. Maria, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
Do we need any other props?
You might want to have, at least a block. You okay? Okay. You might want to have at least a block. Let me make sure I can get this set up right. I'm not familiar with the dimensions on this setup here. Oh, did I not bring? Yes, I did. So apologize for the slight delay in getting started.
How should I be trouble in the back?
So the way we're going to start in a chest opener. So
Forget what all
that's okay. I will show you. Let me make sure I have got the relevant area visible on screen. That's pretty close.
you're on video.
That's pretty close. One of the things that's interesting about this is that it was actually going to be part of my, I killed my video by accident. It was actually going to be part of my yoga spiel for today, is something that I heard today. That I thought was interesting, which is about, I was listening to this seminar from a guy who wrote a book on waiting in the modern age. And he was talking about, there's a number of things that are interesting about that, but this one particular thing stood out to me. And it was that there was a performance that someone was putting on of Bach's Goldberg variations in New York City. And the person putting it on recognized that it was unlikely I think that's pretty close. Let me see if I can get the angle a little better here. It's unlikely that people would be able to just come in off of the streets of New York and all of a sudden be able to have an appropriate appreciation for listening to that music. So what they did is trying to see if, yeah, I think that'll work. I think that'll work. So what they did is they let everyone in and then they made them wait for half an hour, in anticipation. And now yoga is a little different in that I definitely know that I've been to classes where I feel like I walked in and something about the change of scenery was like that. I know that Abir's always seemed to be particularly good at that. And she'd make it would be like, oh, all of a sudden you actually are in a different place. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's how are you, do you have blocks? No, that's
Well,
okay.
I did, but then all of my yoga stuff got put away in the closet.
That's okay. I have blocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up in a chest opener. So you're going to take one block and you're going to place it a little bit underneath of your shoulder blades. And then you're going to take a second block and you're going to place it. I've got it underneath your head so you can bring your head down. And look, you're doing it all by yourself. Oh, so yep. So you don't have to hold yourself up. So this is actually, yep. So actually, let your hips come down. Okay. And Maria, you're already there. What's that, Mom?
Down as they go.
This is as down as your hips go.
Yeah.
This is as down as they go for the moment. Is that the light? Would you prefer that light to be off?
No.
No. Okay. Well, we're going to start off here in this chest opener, which I know that I call for as an opening lot, and I call for it as an opening lot because we spend a lot of our time hunched over our desks or our phones. Yes, hunched over our devices. We're all, what's the gentleman? I wonder if he's ever been described as a gentleman. The gentleman from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, who is the Hunchback. There's a roundness, a forward roundness. And we'll see about reversing some of that. So it's good for that. We don't spend a lot of time in spinal extension. So maybe taking this moment here as your 30 minutes before the Goldberg variations. Don't worry, we will not be here. I mean, we will not be in chest opener for 30 minutes, or will we? And beginning to become aware of your body. Feeling the places where your body is in contact with your mat, and the floor, and your blocks. Maybe you bring your attention to your heels against the floor, or the sides of your feet against the floor if you've taken a variation. Maybe bringing your awareness all the way up to your shoulders. Is there anything that you feel like you are holding onto in your shoulders that you can let go? Can you think about maybe some heavy weights on the top of your shoulders that are pushing your shoulders, pushing the fronts of your shoulders down towards the ground? And then maybe thinking about your head and the spot where your block is supporting the back of your head. And just how much of the weight of your head can you give to that block? Can that block completely take the weight of your head? I'm taking just a moment here. Maybe feeling the chest rise and fall. And maybe even starting to take control of the breath and seeing if you can take in some deeper breaths here so that when you're breathing, you're consciously pulling the air into your belly, pulling the air into the sides of your body. Using your breath to help control your body's space and to help accentuate some of the positions that we'll take, that we have already started taking. And using your breath also as something that you can focus on. If there is something that would otherwise be distracting or potentially unpleasant, always bring your focus back to your breath and your control over your breath. And with that, we start to inhale with a count, which will follow with an exhale with a count. We'll take a few rounds of counted breathing. So, beginning to inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And one more round like that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. You can continue like that for a moment, or you can take a personal breathing. Well, breathing intermission isn't really the right term. That implies not breathing. And take a choose your own pace breathing for a moment, if that is your preference. And then we'll take things into box breathing. I think that I hear the nature on the other end of the call.
I have the
I hear birds outside of Maria's. One day I'd like to solve for this. I was actually thinking, like, maybe I should give my mother one of my earbuds. This has always been Jen often will feel that she's left out if Maria and Dana are on the call and Jen is in person and I'm using the headset, then I have, like, Dana said this. Jen's will be like, tell Dana I said. So, all right, bringing the focus back to the breath one more time. This time we'll take box breathing. We'll take it 4, 4, 4, 4. That makes that's called a force. So, beginning to inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. And inhale, and this one will take to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one more round. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you inhale, allow your breath to return to a more natural and uncontrolled state. You had your eyes closed. Maybe open them here. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have to yet. We're still in our heart opener. We're going to prepare to come off of it. So to come off of it, one option might be that you just roll over to your side. One option might be that you move the head block out of the way, and you then with that out of the way, move to the side. I will come over and give an assist. You okay? Okay. So what we're gonna do? Oh, that's okay. So I'm gonna give you. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this to give you a little extra support so you can let that go. All right. And then we're going to be able to bring this down. All right. Okay. Is that okay? Very good. Very good. This comes out. Very good. You did. Okay. Okay. But my head's going all the way. Okay. From being there that long or just from the change in position? Yeah. Remember getting they weren't making it, but by the time we got to the end, you would have made it to the bottom. Yeah. Okay, well that's probably a good thing. I mean, excuse me a moment while I pull up my notes. Okay, good news. So make your way to a tabletop position, and it's time for that part of things where we get to reference our cats and our cows and our like sorts of things, and then that can all become various references to our different animals. I'll tell my my latest stories. So coming down to a tabletop position, you've got your hands underneath your shoulders, looking for a neutral spine. Your hips are over top of your knees. Very good. Probably want to. I don't have it set up for this time. Untucking your toes. So very good. Okay, and thinking about being long through the top, the crown of your head. All right, and then before we even get into a full cat-cow sort of action, let your head just fall down. And then roll your left ear over towards your left shoulder. And then bring your chin back, bring it back to neutral, chin to the chest. Roll the right ear to the right shoulder. And then let that come back down. We're going to go left and right a few times here. Roll left, back to center, and right, back to center. One more time. To the left, back to center, and to the right, back to center. And bring your head back up to neutral position, reaching through the crown of your head. And now, just beginning to come into our cow position, you're going to think about your belly getting heavy, and your head coming up, and your shoulder blades coming back, and your shoulders pulling together, and pulling your tailbone up. And we'll do that with an inhale. And exhale, we start to round the spine, push the mat away, push the ground away, drop the head, round the back, untuck the tailbone. Inhale, bring the chest forward, maybe bend the elbows a little bit. Bring the belly down, head up. Exhale, drop the head, round the spine. And inhale, head up, tailbone up. Exhale, push the ground away. One more KO. Inhale, belly drops. Shoulder blades come back. Really focus on tucking that tailbone up. And then exhale, push the ground away. Maybe even actively push your chin into your chest. And then come back to neutral. And we'll take, I believe, Maria, you may remember that today, what were we calling the something
Happy puppy?
happy puppy? Yes, we were using some synonyms for that. Something canine, something. So let's take some happy puppies here. So happy puppy here. I'm not sure if we had done this previously. Are you doing okay? Okay, well, I'll instruct it. Okay, so I haven't done anything yet. So, so from here we're gonna. It's sort of like a lateral cat cow. So we're going to try to take our right ear and our right shoulder over to our right hip, and then over to the other side. Left ear, left shoulder towards the left hip, and we'll take that over to the right side. And it's obviously very. I think it's called a happy puppy because they're going to left and right. And I was like, we should answer the phone in the middle of class. But it was the people in class trying to let me know. So coming back to neutral here. And then let's do this. Let's can we drop down into a child's pose.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? No, just a moment. First off, can you hear me now?
I can, but it wasn't as good as it was earlier.
Yeah. Well, I just hang on. I'm gonna have it fixed.
It's
I think
just
what
very
happened-
quiet. It sounds
Is it
like
better?
very, like you're whispering. I could hear you now, but is it because you're close to the camera?
How is this?
It sounds like you're in a faraway tunnel.
Okay. One. This worked before. We're gonna try one more thing. What happened? This was not part of yoga. This isn't supposed to be. This isn't supposed to be yoga class. Wait, I don't even know if you can see. Let's try this. Try this.
Aren't you supposed to take them out at the same time so that they pair?
I think you figured it out. I think you figured it out. Can you hear me okay? How is
Yeah.
this?
I hear you now. Yep,
That's
you're good.
Okay, good. I was hoping that would work. All right, great. Let me try the do not disturb button. Not that it's worked in the past when we've tried it. Okay, so yes. So the technical thing we've learned is that when I'm in a Zoom call and I get a phone call, when it's done not answering the phone, the headset is no longer the active thing. So you can hear me
Oh,
okay now.
yes.
Wonderful. All right. So when last we left, we were sinking our hips back and reaching our arms out for a child's pose. Seeing how heavy we can get our hips. I haven't used this mat in a little while. So this is my the mat that I'm on is my long time practice mat, I guess, for my current period of doing yoga. And when I completed my teacher training, Jen got me another mat with my name on it. So that has become my in-home mat, and this has become my travel mat.
Ah, so you're not home, you're traveling.
Well, I'm at my parents', so that's semi-traveling. This is the mat that the other mat does not leave my home studio. All right, so we're going to take the hands and we're going to start to walk them over towards the left, getting a stretch into that right shoulder. And if you'd like, you can let the hips push out a little bit more to the right. And if you'd like to try to take this even further, which is completely optional, you can just stay here if you'd like and just try to keep the hips heavy. If you want to try to take it further, you can take that left hand and reach it behind for maybe the outside of the right foot. Maybe that'll let you pull the body over more in that direction. And maybe you can walk your fingers more over to the left. Getting a side stretch. And then depending on your wall adjacency, always can move or adjust or let me know if you need assistance or recommendations. All right, if you're holding that foot, go ahead and release it. Walk your hands back to center. Before we take the other side, why don't we come up to tabletop optionally? Maybe we'll take some hip circles. Just rotating around. First, we're going counterclockwise. It's not a rule. You can go whichever direction you'd like first. You don't even have to make it balanced. That's simply what is it? Tradition. Tradition. All right. Now I'm going to go and start taking things in clockwise, and you are invited to join me in that direction or the opposite direction, or if you've got a third direction that I don't have a name for or don't know about, feel free to take that. All right. And coming back to neutral, coming to stillness there, sinking the hips back down, reaching the hands out, starting to walk the hands over this time to the right side. Again, trying to keep the hips heavy, find a stretch, particularly in the left shoulder, but maybe also in the left lat, the left side body, maybe even in the left hip, depending on your hip tightness. I just had a new thought, which I'll share in a moment after I give the cue for. You can take, if you'd like to take a deeper option here, to take that right hand around the back and maybe reach for the outside of the left foot, or for anything else that you might be able to grab on that lets you pull yourself a little bit more towards the right side, and walk that left hand and those left fingers over more to the right. I was thinking, well, when I'm teaching this, I'm going to give cues to the people who are here, and I'm not thinking about, well, I'm not thinking about concerns that I don't know about that people might have, or limitations, because it's a fairly small attendance in the moment. But since this is a recorded class, there's always the possibility that there's someone in the future who I didn't anticipate, who has other limitations that maybe should be considered here. What do we want to call this? Temporal teaching. Maybe you can take one more deep breath into that left side body or left shoulder. Exhale. Go ahead, and if you're holding on to anything with that right hand, go ahead and release it. Walk your hands back to neutral, and then make your way up to tabletop position. All right, Mom, I don't know how this is going to go, but I would like to try it. I'm going to set you up. Let's see. Let me get you a couple props. Maria, the next thing we're going to take is a supported lizard, and I want to make sure that. How you doing? You doing okay? Okay, well then it's a good thing we're going to do this. We're all suffering from. It's interesting because one of the things I was thinking about, what we were just talking about, is that, hey, traditionally all of us were probably fairly flexible, and then since then, Mom has been limited, and I have been not doing stuff because of my knee, and Maria, you've probably been carrying a bunch of heavy boxes that are making you all tight and whatnot. So I don't know. Possibly. All right.
To say the least.
To say the least. I hope that it has all gone well. Okay, so we're going to come up to a kneeling position. Can you do that, Mom? I'm thinking about that I'm using the perfect push-ups for the what do you call it, for the camera stand, and thinking that those aren't the right things, but I've got something else that actually might be good for something like this. Although you seem like you're getting along pretty well. So all right. So can you bring your weight over onto your right side? Let me see if I've got this right. I've already forgotten how to do a lizard pose. All right. Yes. And then bring your left foot out. Can you do that? Different ways to get into lizard, but for us, that's great. It's good. All right. And now, can you start to slide your right knee back? Good. So just enough so that you've got a little bit of space that's starting to open up here. And then can you take your left hand and bring that block that it is on over towards the inside of the right knee? Good. Now what you're going to do is you're going to see what you can do. You don't want your left knee collapsing out. See if you can keep, at least not yet. See if you can keep it kind of up, and see if you can start sliding the right knee back and bringing your torso down to wherever is comfortable for you, being supported with the blocks that you had. Do you need assistance?
I don't know.
You don't know if you can go down. Do you feel like you're getting here? Okay. It's just very tight. Well, you don't have to go down any further. So how about this? How about this? Yes, I'm thinking. So that's fine. How about this? How about this? So we're looking to come down to a position here where, yes, you're in a deep lizard, using your blocks to take up some of the support. Actually, hang on. How about that? Is that
She's not stable.
that's not going to be, that's okay. Hang on, we got more options. Okay. So come on down into that. Whoop, whoop. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Falling.
You got it?
No.
Nope.
The pillars are good.
The pillars are two pillars are not good enough.
Pillars are not stable.
Okay. That is okay.
Well, let me try the other way
What other one?
with the blocks.
Okay, we'll try it with the
I
block.
mean, you know,
Or you know what?
I can't get down.
Why don't we try the bigger blocks? And you don't have to come down. It's you know, it's not a matter of, it's not a contest to see if you can get so deep that you can do some sort of lizard limbo. That is not the goal. I mean, that would be kind of cool.
Wait,
That would
I
be
thought
kind of
that's
cool.
what this class was. No lizard
Lizard
limbo.
limbo. That it's about trying to make great Instagrams. So yeah, but if you're getting a stretch, that's fine. We're looking for a position. What's that?
I'm definitely getting stretched.
And then you're good. Then you're good. And you're welcome to stay in this position for as long as you're comfortable doing so. I'd like to, I know that Maria, you may have been in it for a moment, or you may be rejoining us or opting to do something. It is as, oh no, I'm in trouble. My socks are still on. We've talked about that previously. We got rules. We got rules.
I have socks on.
Yes, but you're not the teacher, so you're not that.
Oh.
As far as I've been instructed, that rule is only applicable to the teacher. So, yeah, coming down, finding the space, and if you're getting a stretch, that's good. And you want it to be a comfortable stretch. And saying a lot of the time recently, what we're looking for in this particular class is if your stretch range is from 1 to 10, maybe you're looking for a 5. A 1 is fine too. You're looking for something that speaks to you in this moment and that is consistent with what your body is telling you. So, all right. Let's go ahead and work yourself back up to what do we call this? Lizard prep position or tall lizard? I don't even know. Bring that left leg back and work your way into tabletop and take that. This is even going to be the one. Take that left leg up behind and then take it out to the side and then down. If it's easier to, I don't know if the blocks are going to be easier. It's going to be easier to not be on the blocks or that. Yeah. Shouldn't have to deal. Ah, okay. Okay. So
to have something
okay. Well, then we can take that into account. Anyway, we're taking some hip circles here just on the left side as an alternate. So we're taking it back, out, down, and then we'll reverse that. Out, back, down, out, back, down, out, back, down. Okay. And then let's come back up to a kneeling position and we'll take it on the other side. Do you think you've got a plan here? Okay, wonderful. I'm trying to decide if I have a plan. Taking that right knee out forward, using the blocks maybe for support, maybe on the highest height. Starting to slide that left knee back some. Taking that right hand to the inside of the right leg. And then using the blocks to start to bring the chest down forward, slide the left knee back, finding a place where you are getting some stretch in the right hip and the left hip flexor. If you have additional things here, it's always an option. So, it's always an option to see if you have something that you can put underneath of your head even if that's maybe just your hands, to take off some of the weight from your neck. And if you're thinking about, well, this side doesn't feel the same as the other side, well, we're not exactly symmetrical. And even
Andrew, are you supposed to keep your knee like straight up, or can it kind of like angle to the outward?
the right knee can angle out at this point.
Oh, okay. That's what my
Yeah.
knee wants to do.
Yeah, it can angle out. There's different theories on. I've definitely seen it instructed a number of times both ways. Typically, what I'll in my experience, what I've seen is that the recommendation is to keep the knee in until you have reached a fuller expression of the pose, and then at that point, you may want to let the knee go out to the side to find a different angle. I'm not even sure what would happen if I tried that on here. I probably shouldn't try that.
You're not wearing your brace.
I am. It's on the right side.
Oh wow, it's hidden. Okay.
Yeah. I've been doing a good job of not messing it up too much.
That's good.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully it recovers. I will continue to not understand how it is supposed to recover without surgery. If it is something that has completely snapped, I don't understand how the two pieces are supposed to find each other and reconnect or reconstruct or whatever on their own. Maybe that's not it. Maybe it's substitute things.
The body's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And I guess I'm still relatively young enough that maybe it'll take care of itself. There's a gentleman in this I'm rehearsing for a theatrical production that I'm going to be in, and he had one of his hips replaced last year, and he had the other one replaced this year. He's all happy about it. He's like, it's much better now, and I'm like, most people are like anti-surgery, but this is a man after my own heart. I'm like, if they can fix something, I want them to go in there and fix it. And if they might need to fix it in the future, I want them to go fix it sooner so that I am better or have the availability for it sooner, and so that I am younger when I have to recover from whatever it is.
Definitely.
So that's what I would hope. Okay, so we're going to start to work our way up and out. Oh. You okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But you didn't fall far. Unfortunately, we were on the. You okay?
Yeah, I just got to figure out how to get back up.
Okay. All right. Good news. Everybody is okay. All right. We're gonna come make our way. You sure you're good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're gonna come back then into our tabletop, maybe with our blocks, and we're going to take some hip circles on the other side. This is the part where I have to move away from the wall because my right leg does not go through the wall because I am not a ghost. All right, right heel up towards the ceiling, and then out towards the right side, and then down, and you do what you can, and you try to do what you can. Back, and then out to the right side, and then down. It has had other ways of compensating, or maybe it's things that are on the other side. So that's probably then good practice, and we should probably be regularly trying to do some of these hip circles. One more time, out, heel to the back, and then out to the right, and down, and then take it in the other direction. We'll take that out to the side like we're a dog. Hey, we're doing the dog thing again. And then out to the back, and then down, out to the side, and then back, and then down, and out to the back. Excuse me, out to the side, and then back, and then down. It's only 3 directions or 3 places. I probably shouldn't have been confused. Excuse me, just a moment while I grab. Okay, good news. All right, at this point, we are going to make our way to the wall. So I'm going to try to find the best of both giving instruction, demonstrating how to do something, and also giving the necessary assistance. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our mats, and this is probably, this goes for everybody. You're going to take your mat and you're going to place it against the wall. If when we're lying off of it, your mat, your head or your top part of your body is not on the mat, feel free to reorient your mat to be in the other direction, or feel free to maybe take a pillow or a block or something to go under there. So an option might be something like, is that visible? I'm not sure. So
Yeah, I can see you.
you can see me? Okay, good. I wasn't sure if you could see the pillow that I put in front. So
Is
let's,
that supposed to be parallel or perpendicular to the wall?
traditionally the mat would be perpendicular. Excuse me, parallel to the wall. Wait. Perpendicular. Perpendicular. Okay. Okay. So can you, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna assist you here with putting this here. So can you make your way? I'm gonna like this is gonna be convenient. Your mat is just like I can grab you and slide you all the way over. Or maybe not. Okay. Yeah. So can you make your way before you come all the way here? So we want to get you closer to the wall. Okay. So let me show you how we're gonna do that. Okay. So I want you to get yourself up against the wall so that your right hip is all the way against the wall. Can you do that? Oh, you can't see me. Okay. So sit up. Sorry, I'm not even taking into account the visual limitations. All right, there it is. There it is. So now you're going to get your right hip against the wall, and then you're going to slide. You're going to turn like this so that your legs are against the wall, and that your seat is also more against the wall. Very good. And that will give us very good. That's exactly what we're looking for, and that will give us some more options with that. So I'm going to give you to the side. We might end up needing it, but you don't necessarily need to go out that far, and we don't need it right now. So right now we're just going for straight legs up the.
Uh-oh. Andrew, you froze.
Okay.
Back.
Wait a minute. I'm back. I heard you say I froze, and I went looking. I think that it looks awfully dark here.
You froze, but then I left the meeting in case it was on my end. So that's what happened.
I wasn't sure. I could hear you. I feel like I am probably really.
You're not dark. I could see everything.
You can see me okay? Okay.
Yeah.
The little window that I have is frozen and dark. But if you can see me, then
Yep.
great.
Crystal clear.
Okay, cool. All right, great. Then we are going to do a few legs up the wall things. We're going to be at the wall for the remainder of class. So that's a spoiler. Spoiler alert. All right. So working ourselves into position where we have our legs up the wall. If it is more comfortable for you, you can always take a towel or a blanket and place that underneath your hips or a pillow, but you can always bend your knees as much as you need to get comfortable. Maybe you let your hands lay out to the side. We're going to stay here for a couple of moments. this is often a good um, alternative to a traditional shavasana. And it's not quite shavasana time yet, but we'll take this position here, this passive inversion. Maybe again, paying attention to the birds that we hear, to any other animals that might be floating around. Yeah, we're still, Jackson and Selena do not like each other. It was interesting this morning around 6 in the morning or something. Jackson's like, he's sitting by the bed, and he has a pose that we call it sexy Jackson, because it reminds us of in Seinfeld where George did like sexy George pose or whatever, and Jackson will do this thing that reminds us of that. And he was lying on the floor by the bed doing that. And he doesn't usually do that. Sometimes he'll do it in doorways or whatever if he thinks he's like wants to be cute and wants attention. He was doing that, and we're like, why is he doing that? Usually he's either looking out the window or at the foot of the bed. And I noticed, oh, he can see on the other side of the bedroom door. It looks like there is a black shape over there. And the other side of the door is Selena. We didn't open the door because that was just asking for trouble. But he was doing sexy Jackson is really, I am the cool cat in charge, and I'm going to sit here and just defend my territory, even though you can't get in here because the door is closed.
Huh.
Our evenings have turned into that she spends the whole day in the basement, and then in the evening when we are lounging on the couch, she will come up. He will see her, hiss, and leave and not come back. It's okay. They don't have to get along. Not all cats get along. They just have to not fight and not. She was going to get adopted. I'll continue that in a moment. Go ahead here. What I want you to do. Yes, I will speak to that in a moment. So what I want you to do here next is we're going to take a frog pose against the wall. So what you're going to do is you're going to start to bend your knees, and at the same time you are going to bring your legs out to the side. And you are going to aim for maybe, although you don't have to, getting your the soles of your feet down against the wall. Okay. And then once you've found a position here that you are somewhat comfortable in, you have an option. If you'd like, you can take your hands or your arms and you can rest them on the insides of your knees for a little bit more stretch in those inner thighs. So Selena had an interested adopter who we did an interview with last week. It was probably last Wednesday. But they wouldn't adopt her out because she had developed a limp. She went in and she couldn't get seen right away because the vet that they had a personal emergency or something. So she got checked out on Friday, and they sent her back to us and said, "You're going to keep an eye on her, and she needs to get some pill for a couple nights." And then we needed to make another video of her limping around or whatever it was. So she's not limping probably as bad as she was 2 or 3 nights ago, but as of Sunday, she was still limping, and we sent them the video, and we haven't had it back. And it was a pill that we looked up, and it said, do not crush this pill. So we could not crush it and put it in the food. So I had to pill her, and she hated me for 2 days. But it seems like we're buddies again. She's a sweet girl who would very much just
Why was she limping?
We don't know. The theory is she aggravated something chasing Jackson, and whatever it is that they just said it was inflammation. They said that whatever it was that was wrong was not bad enough to stop her from chasing him upstairs. So I would think that she would still be adoptable, and hopefully the adopter that she had was still interested, because they thought that she would be difficult to adopt out for whatever reason. Although she's a pretty good girl who just likes attention. She's got the she's a black cat, so I know that tends to make them harder to adopt. But I also know that they, yeah, well, some the timid ones do. Timid ones, it can take them a month before they get comfortable doing things. And I know based on that you look at, Mom, that you look at the inventory of animals there, that they don't have a lot that are up for adoption. So so that's an option for. So you think that it would happen, that someone would be interested?
So are they just home alone right now?
The cats? Yeah, but
Yeah.
they stay away from each other. Except, well, we think they stay away from each other. We heard something like last night that we weren't sure what it was. I didn't think it was them, but Jen thought it might have been them. But yeah, this is not a case. We've had a couple of them where they bullied Jackson, and it was a problem, and it was not really okay to leave them. They're on more equal footing, even if she has chased him. I think for the most part, she is not coming out during the day, and it is still light out. So she's usually spending this period of time of the day sleeping in her covered bed thing that she has. The do not stick your hand in here or I will swipe at you with claws spot that we are probably going to send with her when she gets adopted, since she loves it so much. All right, so we're gonna take a move on from here. So go ahead and maybe use your hands and take them to the outsides of your legs. Use them to push very, very easily. Push your legs together. Go ahead. Reach your legs back up the wall. We'll stay here for a moment before we move on to our next stretch. We'll do some more hip stretches. We'll take a figure 4 stretch from our legs up the wall position. It's okay to say different things. So go ahead and cross your left leg, your left ankle over towards the top of your right knee. Very good. Take your left hand and place it on the inside of your right knee so that you are going to prevent it from completely collapsing inward. Flex your left foot and then begin to slide your right heel down the wall, bending the right knee. And try to keep your lower back on the floor. It does not matter how deep you go here. All bodies are different, and again, we are not looking for, what did we call it? Something limbo? We're not looking for lumbar limbo, that's for sure. So that's not looking to keep the stretch here in that thigh. You can always, if it is more comfortable for you, you could always take a block or a blanket again and place it underneath of the lower back. That allows you to take things a little bit more into the hip. Finding a position that you can hold here. Figure 4. Stretching out the left hip. I think the best stretches are the ones that don't really require much effort, right? Just lying here, it's just doing it for you. I mean, I guess maybe you're flexing that left foot. That's a little bit of effort. How is Mia taking to the move?
Oh, I think she loves it here.
It's potentially an opportunity for her to get a little more attention too, right? Or actually, I don't know. I don't know how much you're home. I mean, I know that Dana does well with cats.
Oh, I work from home.
Okay, so you're home all the time, so that's all good. So that's.
So yeah, she gets plenty of attention.
Lucky lady. Option if you'd like while you're here, and then you can just go ahead and you can hang out here. Your practice is always, you can hang out here forever. You could hang out here for the next 3 hours, although I won't be here when that happens. when we get there. But you can take your left hand that is may or may not still be on the inside of your left knee, and you could, if you like to take things a little bit deeper, you can push that left knee further away from your body. Maybe if we've been here for a while, that right foot can drop a little bit lower down. It would be nice if Selena came upstairs and visited me while I work. Pretty much every other foster we've had for this long has eventually come up and hung out with me during the day while I've been working, with the exception of Patches. But Selena has not ventured upstairs. As far as we know, she has not figured out that there is a front staircase. She only knows about the back staircase, which means that if that door is closed during the day, which we'll tend to do for climate control, she doesn't make her way. She doesn't make her way there. Maybe she knows. She doesn't. She hasn't made her way up. It's they're in some sort of stalemate neutral zone thing. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let that right foot and leg extend back up the wall. Go ahead, let the left foot extend up the wall, and before we take it on the other side, we're gonna let those legs both bend, come down like you're sitting maybe cross-legged, or maybe you're going to take a butterfly type, a cobbler type position here, and we're going to stay here for a moment as the counter stretch isn't the right term, but as a release in that particular stretch before we take it on the other side. I'm glad, Maria, I'm glad that you are available to share your, I mean, Mom, I'm glad you are too. I'm not leaving you out. But because of other things to do and because of my injuries, I've been limiting my personal practice. I appreciate the external motivation that is available doing this to make sure that I'm still getting in some practice. The last time that I took last time I had actually gone to an in-person class, I aggravated my upper back injury. I'm very wary of what it is that I can actually do at this point, which is a far cry from where I was a few months ago when this was when I was heavily focused on personal practice. All right.
Well, we are where we are now. No need to
That's
compare to the past.
That is an excellent point. That is
Happy to be your accountability partner.
an excellent term for it, accountability partner.
I forgot what you said, but I was like, I think this is what he means. Oh, he said external.
That is what I mean. That is what I mean. That is what I mean. It is, and let's get into the other position. Go ahead and bend across your right ankle over the top of your left thigh, and place your right hand on top of your right knee. In this case, I am actually going to take something slightly different because of my knee injury, but you're going to take what you were taking on the other side. So now that your legs are crossed, go ahead and begin to let that left foot slide down the wall. Trying to ensure that you are getting your stretch in your hip as opposed to in your lower back. Not that stretching out your, well, I'm not a doctor and I'm not an expert enough to know about what the potential complications are there. So I will not speak anymore on that. Just trying to focus the stretch in there.
Andrew, do your parents live far away?
No, they're nearby. I had actually considered whether it would have made sense based on the spacing. If we had doing the wall stuff might have been an issue, but no, they don't live far at all. They live off of exit 22 on the Beltway. So in Pikesville. So yeah, it's my where Dana's house is now is actually only a few blocks from where my father used to have his dental office, or when he was working.
Oh, got it.
So not far.
Yeah, I love Dana's house. It's and this area is really, really great.
It's very cute. It's very cute. I was like, I'm picturing it, and then I'm like, darn it, you drive up there, and then you've got to go through, or you've got to do the difficult turnaround with the car. But besides that, I don't think I have anything. Right? We're always like, whenever we're there, we're like, are we going to try to turn around on the street to get out? Are we going to go through? And then we're always asking ourselves, wait a minute, is this the one where we're supposed to turn to get out the other side? But
I'm so used to that though at any street. I mean, that's how
Yeah.
I have a small car though. I can turn around anywhere.
She has a nice place. It's cute. I think it's the area is decent.
It doesn't feel like I'm in the city when I'm here.
Yeah, it's a little different. We have a little bit of that where we are too. You look at our place where it's in this it's funny. It's funny in the theatrical production that I'm doing. It is a musical about the life of William Donald Schaefer. You're not from here, so do you know who he is?
I don't know.
Okay, he was the mayor of the city in the 80s, and then he was the governor, in the late 80s, early 90s? If I have the timing on that right. He was the city council president back in the 70s or something. Anyway, in it, they're talking about, this is funny, I hadn't connected this before, talking about how his wife or someone wanted to buy a bungalow in Milford Mill, which is in Baltimore County. And they said, there's something there called a cul-de-sac. Well, you know what? We have a cul-de-sac in the city.
Huh.
Wasn't his wife.
It wasn't his wife. I don't know the details about his personal. Significant other for 50 years. Was her name Ella May? Something like that. I've despite that I have the script, I'm still not completely clear on what his personal life looked like.
She was the first lady of the state. But,
Yeah.
As far as I can remember, they never married. I'm not even sure if they lived together.
That's interesting. So my mother says that she's not sure that him and his significant other ever married, or if they or if they even lived together. In the show, she talks about wanting to get married to him, and she talks about he's still 47 and lives with his mother.
Huh.
So, all right, go ahead. And no, we didn't take that in there. So if you haven't yet, we'll stay here for another 30 seconds because I didn't cue this. If you'd like to push a little bit deeper into that right knee, or to pull that left foot down any bit further, and that we've been here for a moment. This piece, this musical, it was written. I don't know how long ago it was, but it was supposed to be for his 100th birthday party. They were going to put it on. I'm not sure what happened. Why that didn't happen was that I don't know when he died. He died in like 2013 or something, I think.
What's the theater company called?
It's Fells Point Corner Theater.
Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead and extend that left leg. Uncross the legs. fully extend that right leg out. And then go ahead and again, take some sort of cobbler or cross-legged position with your knees bent. Relax out as a bit of a counter pose.
I don't know if you know this, Andrew, but I used to be heavily in the Baltimore theater scene
I had no idea. What were you involved with? Who were you
for
involved?
years. Well, I worked at Center Stage for a while,
Okay.
and then I was an intern with Single Carrot Theater. And then I did some stuff with Baltimore Theater Project, and I was also part of like a different theater company doing aerial stuff for a while. But
Interesting. Wow. I wonder if I ever had if we have run into each other before and didn't know it.
well, when I was at Center Stage, I was doing props.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, what do you usually do in theater? Are you an actor?
I'm an actor. I'm new to it. The first thing that I did was something at Spotlighters in 2018.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah,
so,
I know.
but yeah, and the things that the readings that I've done recently, they've all been staged as Spotlighters. But what was I going to say? I was going to say, but you said you did some stuff. Did you do any? But the aerial stuff. Where was that?
So that I was part of a company called Daydreams and Nightmares Aerial Theater. We did a couple.
I remember seeing the flyer for them.
So we had a couple when I was with them, we had a couple shows, Spectacle Obscura, and then we had 12. This was many years ago. But ever since then, I've just been taking classes with aerials. I'm not a performer anymore, but it was quite an experience. That was a long time ago.
All right, let's move into our next pose. I'm totally interested to speak more about this, but let's finish up. There will be opportunity. Go ahead.
Dinner.
Take your legs. Take your legs up the wall, and what we're going to do something a little bit different here. Okay, so take your option here. So, Mom, since you're going to run out of wall there, you can let it go beyond, or you can readjust. You're going to let your right leg fall out to the right, as far as that works. Okay, and you're going to keep your right leg kind of straight here. And then you're going to sort of reproduce that frog on the left side. So you're going to bend on the left side. And then option, if it helps for you, you can take, I did not cue for this ahead of time, and I should have. You could take a block if you'd like and set that up under either leg, either under the straight leg. Mom, I see you've got it all figured out with the chair there, and you could put a block underneath your left leg if that is good for you. So it is a little bit of it. You're getting both the open stretch on the right side as well as a slightly different angle potentially on that frog stretch. We'll take this here, and we'll take it on the other side, and then we'll move to conclude. I'm trying to remember if we actually saw Daydreams and Nightmares, because I remember us seeing, I want to say we saw something at one point that was staged in one of the Micah buildings, which reminds me of that.
But yeah, that's where it was. We had a couple, that's where our shows were.
Yeah, I think we saw one. Yeah.
I wonder if it was one that I was in.
Yeah. I'd have to what was I looking at? This was fascinating. I mean, it's all right. It's not fascinating. I say that all the time. Something like that. Go ahead. We've been here for a moment. Go ahead and bring your right leg back up the wall, and then your left leg up the wall. And now you're going to let your left leg fall out to the left, bend the right knee, and let that one fall to the right. Left leg straight, right knee out to the right. Again, option to set up if you'd like, with any blocks underneath your legs. This may be one that we repeat. We repeat another time for a longer period in the future. I was going to say, what I wanted to say is that um, the number of times that I've been it's a few, but I could probably guess if I want to be able to go to Google and say, Google, tell me where on my timeline, when on this timeline I was at this building. And I don't think there's a great way to do it, although you could probably write something that doesn't, and figure out what date I was. What date
Unless
I
you
was-
have it on your Google Calendar, that's like one thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I
I
guess
was
that's
only
true.
with them
Well,
2011 and 2012, so if it was one of those 2 years, then maybe.
I feel like it would probably have it was probably more recent than that. The thing that I was going to say, this was interesting. We gave blood last week. I mean, I hadn't tried to give blood in a long time because I'd never been successful. I tried once when I was in high school, and I couldn't fill the unit in the allotted time. And I tried once in college, and I did it on a whim. I walked by a blood drive on my way back from class. I actually passed out during the process.
Oh my
probably hadn't
gosh.
eaten anything or something. It was a fascinating experience. It actually has some relevance to yoga, in that I came to, and like I didn't know who I was for like 5 seconds. It's the weirdest experience. It's totally scary. You have like people over you doing things, trying to communicate with you, but not having the processing facilities to understand what's going on or anything. But it went away quickly. In any case, I was like, oh, those things happen. I went and I signed up did the blood drive, and they hooked up my account or whatever to things. And apparently my old visits were in the system, and it had the particular dates that I tried to do this in 1997 and 2000. They're on my account, my Red Cross account. Yeah, who knew? I was like, wow, that was neat. I didn't expect that. Okay, go ahead and bring your legs back to center, straightening the right leg, bringing both legs back up.
I used to give blood so often as like the minimum amount you can wait between donations.
It's a good thing to do if you can do it. I think we're going to start doing it regularly now that I finally was able to do it successfully for the first time. All right, option if you'd like here. Option if you'd like to just stay here with your legs up the wall. But if you'd like to do something else, you come down. That is also an option. You can come down, maybe fall over to
Oof.
one side. Yeah. And then from here, I think we're going to forgo twisting. Well, no, we're not going to forgo twisting. So option, if you came down, if you'd like, Mom, you can join me even from up there if you'd like. All right, you can go ahead and, yep, that works very nicely. Pull your knees into your chest, on your back, maybe rock left and right. And then take your left hand over to the outside of your right knee and let your legs fall over towards the left side, keeping your right arm off to the right and looking over towards the right for a spinal twist. Yep, that's it. There's actually something we didn't get to that we could do in the future with twisting against the wall. Go ahead and bring those legs back to center. And head back to center. Oh, I'm going to have to move to make this one work. Bringing the right hand over to the outside of the left knee. Let those legs fall off to the right side. Maybe let that left hand go out long and look over the left shoulder. Take a couple of deep breaths in here. One more inhale. Exhale. Let go of that left knee and bring those legs back to center. Bend the knees. You reach for the insides or outsides of the feet for a final happy baby. Maybe you just grab the shins and rock back and forth a little bit one more time. When you're ready, go ahead. Let go of your shins and feet. Let the those legs go back up the wall if you'd like, or let them reach out in front of you. The hands, backs of the hands come down to the mat or floor, fingers face up. Maybe the feet fall out to the sides, let the earth take your weight. Just take a moment to listen to the sounds around you. Take a moment of rest here. Preparing to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Circling your wrists and ankles. It's always a welcome to lie here for as long as you would like to until the world comes calling for you. If it has, maybe roll over onto your right side. Lie here for just a moment. Use your left hand to help push yourself up. And whenever you're ready, make your way up to any comfortable seated position. It's funny, I was going to say you christened that house for this yoga class, but it's already happened. It just wasn't by you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining today. What's a good one to? No special quotes today. And I'm thrown by that. I don't have the. I can't see myself because that part of the window is frozen. I see you, but me is still me leaning in from half an hour ago where the light hasn't even adjusted right. So technology.
Well,
Again.
Thank you, Andrew. And
my
bye,
pleasure. Thank
Mom.
you, Maria says bye.
And maybe
She
we'll
says
see
bye
you
too.
Sunday.
Yeah. I think that we're trying to figure out how to make it happen, but we would very much like to do that. So,
Sounds good. All righty.
looking
Bye.
forward to it. Bye.